It's time for Recipe of the Day. Happy Friday. We made it, and I have the perfect appetizer to start your weekend. It is for classic shrimp cocktail. And I'm just going to tell you, shrimp cocktail is a great appetizer, but I also just like it for dinner. Marty and I will often do like a big Caesar salad and shrimp cocktail, and that is dinner. And it's amazing. So you can have it as an appetizer, but you can also figure out how to make it dinner. Okay, so first I want to tell you that I am doing a traditional North American shrimp cocktail, which should not be confused with the British version, which is usually called prawn cocktail. That has a different kind of sauce. I do have a recipe on my site for that sauce, so I'll link to it. The British version is called Mary Rose sauce, and it's more mayonnaise based. It has a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of heat from some Tabasco, sometimes some lemon juice. It's just a totally different take. That is not what I'm talking about today, though. I'm talking about the kind of shrimp cocktail that you get at steak houses in the States, and, you know, nice big shrimp with that cocktail sauce made of ketchup and horseradish with a few other ingredients. Really lovely. Okay, how do you make that classic American appetizer? First thing is I like to use large shrimp. That's the 21 to 25 count shrimp. That means that there's 21 to 25 per pound. And I like to get them raw, frozen, deveined, and either fully peeled or easy peel, but with the tail on. You really want that tail for the handle. And then you can go a few different ways for cooking the shrimp. I mean, you could buy them already cooked if you were just trying to do this really quickly, but I actually like to cook them myself, and I cook them from frozen. I've told you about this before. It is the best way to cook shrimp. They are going into a pot of water. So what you're actually going to do is keep the shrimp frozen. And of course, that is the freshest way to buy them frozen, because often in the stores, they're just defrosting the bags of shrimp there and then selling them as fresh shrimp. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to fill a big saucepan, about 3/4 full of water. You could add some salt and other seasonings to this. You could use some lemon, you can use some dill, peppercorns, or just the water and salt. That's fine too. You bring it up to a boil, take it off the heat, let it stop boiling, and then you add the shrimp to that off the heat. Stir them, put the lid back on. Basically, what ends up happening is the shrimp kind of cool that water down a little bit, and then you have this very gentle cooking process of those shrimp. They're cooked very gently, and then you cool them, and they're just plump, tender. They've got a little bit of a crunch to them. They're perfectly cooked shrimp. I just love them. So depending how many shrimp you have and how big they are, it's going to be about 4 to 5 minutes in that pot. I usually have a look, give it a stir. If they all look nice and pink and opaque, give one a taste maybe, they're done. If you're not sure, leave them for another couple minutes. At that point, the water is such a gentle temperature. It's just cooking them very, very slowly. You're not going to really overcook them. So that's what you do there. Now, while those are sitting in that hot water off the heat and cooking, you're going to get an ice bath ready. So you want a big bowl halfway full of water and then a whole bunch of ice cubes. Once your shrimp are cooked, you're happy with them, drain off that hot liquid and then transfer them right away to that ice bath. Let them sit in there for a good few minutes so that they are fully cool. Then you drain them. If you had the easy peel shrimp and you need to take the peels off, you could take the peels off now, and then you're going to refrigerate those shrimp until you're ready to serve them. The other big key to shrimp cocktail is the cocktail sauce. You can of course buy cocktail sauce, but I love making it myself because you can really adjust it. And one of my favorite things, we were at a restaurant in New Orleans called, I think, Felix's, and they're kind of known for their oysters. They let you make the cocktail sauce at the table. They bring you all the ingredients, and it was such a fun experience that I sometimes just like to have people make their own cocktail sauce as we go. If it's a small group for dinner, that's really fun. But if you're going to do it yourself, it is a cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, and a pinch of salt. That's the basics. You could also go in with a little bit of lemon juice, Worcester sauce, and hot sauce. All of that is really, really basic and to taste. I've given amounts in the recipe, but you can do it to whatever tastes best for you. It's small amounts of those ingredients. I will say the horseradish is important. Definitely, I like prepared horseradish, not horseradish sauce. And the best one is the one that is found in the refrigerated section of the grocery store near the refrigerated pickles. It's usually much hotter, much fresher, less vinegary. It is the best horseradish. So go over to the refrigerated section of the grocery store where you get refrigerated pickles, refrigerated sauerkraut, that kind of thing, and see if you have horseradish there. That's going to be your best bet. So you mix that up, you have your nice cold shrimp, and now it's just about serving them. So if you're doing this as like an individual serving, like plated kind of appetizer, it's fun to use like a martini glass or a short wine glass. And then you would just put about a 1/4 cup of the cocktail sauce into the glass, and then you hang the shrimps around the rim of the glass at the top, right? If you're doing this more like a big shrimp ring for a group of people, what I like to do is get a big round serving platter and then put a bowl in the middle with cocktail sauce in it. Now you can put a napkin under that bowl and it'll stop it from sliding around. Then you put ice all around that bowl. It's really great if your serving dish has a bit of a rim, because then that's going to hold the ice in better, right? So you put put the ice all around there, and then you just lay the shrimp on top of the ice, or depending on your serving platter, you can hang them around the rim of the serving platter, or you can hang them around the bowl that their cocktail sauce is in. That works too. Basically though, the ice is going to be cooling down the serving platter and the bowl with the cocktail sauce. Everything's going to be nice and cold so that wherever you put the shrimp, they're going to turn out great. Okay, that is how you make the best shrimp cocktail. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is July 11th of 2025. The other place you can get this link is in our Facebook group for this podcast. I post the recipe of the day link there every day, so you can always find out what I'm talking about and get inspired about what you can make that day or in the days ahead. The group is at facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. I look forward to seeing you there. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.